Hello, boys and girls. So sorry that you're having to watch this video. When I went through the surgery, there were no videos on YouTube for this. So it's taken a couple of years, but I'm finally getting around to making my very first YouTube video. So please bear with me while I stutter and stammer through the whole thing. I went through the surgery for a basal cell. It was a Mohs procedure. I understand that they'd have other reasons other than the basal cell, but I suspect that the healing process is all about the same. So when they did my surgery, they took my lip off from here to here, and as you can tell, they did a pretty good job. It grew back just like they said it would. It took about a month. Unfortunately for me, they ended up taking some of my skin as well. I had a pretty thin lips before, so when they did that, fortunately the scar tissue looks a lot like a lip. So from a distance, nobody really notices. Up close, it's obviously noticeable, but it doesn't happen too often. But sometimes people will say, "What the hell happened to you?" You know, most people think I got into a fist fight and they tore up my lip pretty good, and unfortunately I have to tell them that's not in fact the case. But you know, it is what it is. So it is better than suffering with the cracked lip that I was having for a number of years before they finally determined, after going back and forth and having biopsies done, they finally determined that it was a basal cell, and the option at that point was, you know, cut it out. And the Mohs procedure, it does take a number of hours depending on how many trips back and forth. I had 3 or 4 procedures that afternoon. They take as little as possible, you know, and they biopsy it, and then they come back and take a little more and biopsy that until they get a biopsy that doesn't have any cancer cells. So when you first start, it doesn't seem so bad, but when they're done, it's a bigger area, or at least for me, it was a whole lot bigger of an area than they told me originally. Originally, they told me it was going to be here to here, just about a half an inch. By the time all was said and done, no, it was my whole bottom lip and a little bit of the skin below it. Unfortunately, the scar tissue, it doesn't allow the hair follicles to grow back straight. There's what hair follicles are left; they grow in all different directions. So I have to shave that or trim that, I should say, with a beard trimmer, and that's no fun. The scar tissue definitely feels like scar tissue. If you have a big scar on your body, kind of think about how that's going to feel on your face. So it gets cold pretty easily on my lip there, and it feels real tight. It does like a scar would, you know. But like I said, hey, it's better than having that cracked lip constantly, in which would have just gotten worse and worse. So get it done as soon as you can. If you have to get it done in the winter, you know, that's the way it is. The cold really freaking hurts, man. The cold hurts. Those bare nerve endings just don't like the cold. Fortunately for us, you know, in today's world, wearing a mask is fairly commonplace. So, you know, unless you're getting it done at Halloween, that would be the time, because it's really freaking ugly, man. And answering the door without a mask, without your bottom lip, you could traumatize the neighborhood kids pretty good, and that might be funny. But then again, it might not. It depends on your sense of humor, I guess. So one of the things you're going to want to do to prepare yourself when you go in for the surgery is bring some headphones and some music. I've never suffered from PTSD before this, but I'll tell you, now when I hear scissors snipping anywhere near me, or especially near my head, man, I get the willies. And for a while there, I got nauseous. and felt like throwing up when I heard scissors. If you have that issue, and even if you don't, like I didn't, bring headphones so you don't have to listen to that, because it's a memory that apparently burns in the back of your head, and it comes out. I don't really understand it. I've never had to deal with this before, but it sucks. So get it done as soon as you can, and bring some headphones. So when you get done, don't forget the meds. My wife had to go back to the hospital for the Oxycontin after I got back later on that afternoon, early evening. Man, I was in some serious pain. The pain is pretty bad, and because it's all bare nerve endings, and they're not used to being out there, right? It took probably 2 or 3 days of being on that Oxycontin before I could go off of it and bear the pain without it. It still hurt, but I'm not one for pain meds, and you don't want to get hooked on that stuff. So get off the pain meds as soon as you can. One of the things you're going to want to do when you get home to prepare for the whole thing is toothpaste. Real important that you get toothpaste without mint. Mint really hurts on those exposed nerve endings. And don't just look at the front of the tube looking for mint flavored. You got to look at the ingredients, because even if it's not mint flavored, it has mint in it. Even the last ingredient listed is mint. Don't buy it. This Colgate stuff was the only toothpaste I could find without mint. Even those natural toothpastes, they all had mint in them. Just even if it was the last ingredient, it still had mint, and mint hurts. Kind of like spicy foods hurt. But the spicy foods, you can get past your lip and chew it without having any get on those exposed nerve endings. But it takes some practice, I would say. The spicy food and the toothpaste, anything that hurts your lip when getting on that exposed nerve endings, washing it off really doesn't help much. It's just you just have to grin and bear it for 10 or 15 minutes, however long it takes for the pain to dissipate. The other thing you're going to want to do is get some Neosporin with pain relief. Very important. Now, when I went through the process, and you'll probably find the same thing, they're going to tell you to keep it moist with Vaseline. When I asked them about the Vaseline and why not Neosporin or some other ointment that would help, heal it and heal it faster, their answer was that some people have reactions to Neosporin, and therefore they don't recommend it. God, that's frustrating. It's just one of those things in life that the majority of the people suffer because just a few people have a problem. There are a lot of things in life like that. That's another video altogether. I'm not going to go down that path, but that's a big tangent to go on, and a pet peeve of mine. So I'll make another video maybe someday about that. The Neosporin with the pain relief, it made a difference. It really made a difference. I've used this stuff for years, and with or without the pain relief, it really made no difference on cuts and scrapes to me. But on the lip, man, you felt that pain relief stuff work right away. It took it cut the pain, I should say. It cut the pain quite a bit, kind of like the Oxycontin cuts the pain. Nothing gets rid of pain completely, but it makes it bearable, right? And that's all we can hope for. So if you can use a Neosporin instead of the Vaseline, you're better off without it, in my personal opinion. I'm no doctor, but this is just from my personal experience that we're making this video. I'm no expert on any of this stuff, right? I'm just letting you know what I went through and what helped me. So keep that in mind. You use your discretion as you see fit. Something that I did as well to keep my lip moist at night while I was in bed is I went out and I actually didn't go out. My wife works in a hospital, so she got this really good surgical tape. And then you get some gauze and you cut that gauze about the width of your lip or however big of a spot you have, right? And you make one of these like this with it, and it's just a little mask with some gauze on it. And then I put the Neosporin on the gauze really good, and then I put this whole thing up on my lip like this, and this is how I slept for a month. Way better than getting the medication and blood all over your bed, you know, all over the pillowcases and the bedspread. Your wife is going to be happy that she doesn't have to clean that up. Or hey, if you're the wife or whoever does the bedding washing is going to be really happy that you did that. It helped me a lot, and you may look stupid, but hey, you're asleep. Who cares? So I hope that's all helps you. If you have any questions or concerns, you know, I guess there's a place that you can make comments, and I will respond accordingly. Like I say, it's my very first YouTube video, so this is going to be a learning curve for me too. I hope it all works out for you, but get it done. It's worth it. It beats the heck out of dealing with the pain and dealing with that long term, because it's just going to get worse. So good luck with all that, and take care.